Watch Kodak's unique Sensolite flash in action. When it's dark, thanks, guys, Sensolite turns itself on, flashes automatically. And when it's light, Sensolite doesn't flash. And when it's in between, and you don't know if you need flash, Sensolite flashes whenever needed. It even turns itself off. You don't worry about it. You guys I worry about. Sensolite flash, only from Kodak, America's storyteller.
The 1980 Buffalo Bills, improved but still room for improvement. Competitive but not yet a challenger. The expert sentiments echoed in almost every broadcast and publication.
Recently acquired veterans will provide leadership, but the Bills can't be considered a division threat.
Once again, it appears that Buffalo will have to settle for improvement, not attainment.
The Bills are still 2 drafts away from being a serious contender in the tough AFC.
Ferguson is a first-rate passer, but the lack of a running game will cripple Buffalo's attack.
Buffalo offered its initial rebuttal in week 1. For a decade, the Bills had played second fiddle, while the Dolphins orchestrated a string of 20 straight victories. In their first stop, before a sellout home crowd that roared its encouragement from the opening whistle, the Bills hit nothing but high notes.
Here come the Bills to the line of scrimmage. This team is playing inspired football. The stands are going crazy. Ferguson rolling out, looking, throws toward the end zone. It is good for the touchdown. Caught by Roosevelt and they grab for the touchdown. And pandemonium reigns at Rich Stadium. The streak is over. Long live the streak.
Vindication, jubilation, joyous fans attacked the goalposts with the vigor of college students on homecoming day. The Dolphins had been defeated, and a tone was established for the spectacular 1980 season. The Bills had a spirit that would carry them to their first division title in 14 years. In Buffalo, the team and the town were talking proud.
Buffalo's got a spirit, talking proud, talking proud. Listen up, and you'll hear it, talking proud, talking proud. A good life and to share with nice people who care. It's time to tell them all we're up and standing tall. Buffalo's got a spirit, talking proud, talking proud. Listen up, and you'll hear it, talking proud, talking proud, talking proud, talking proud.
You're about to see the fastest animal in the world. Captured. Captured by a 35mm film that's faster. Kodacolor 400. Because the faster the action, the more you need Kodacolor 400. The fastest 35mm color print film from Kodak. America's storyteller.
In 1980, Chuck Knox armed his Buffalo Bills with an imposing new offensive weapon, the shotgun formation. The innovation was right on target.
Well, we went to the shotgun because when you get in a situation in a football game where everybody in the stands and everybody watching knows that you're going to throw the football, which would be third in a long yardage situation, we thought, well, we might as well go to a formation that we think is the best formation to throw the football from.
With Joe Ferguson as the trigger man, the Bills became the best third down team in professional football. In Buffalo, third and long signaled the start of the hunting season. Pampered by an offensive line that permitted fewer sacks than any team in the NFL, Ferguson confidently played the role of master marksman. He found willing targets like Frank Lewis and number 80, Jerry Butler, as Buffalo bagged the limit in its first 4 outings. Number 86, rookie tight end Mark Bramer became an instant contributor to the shotgun offense. In contrast to seasons past, Buffalo was no longer chasing opponents. The Bills were running, and everyone else was struggling to keep pace. With a record-setting Ferguson, a formidable air game could be anticipated. But the Buffalo rushing attack, last in the league 2 seasons back, was revived by runners like Curtis Brown, number 47. Yet the most celebrated addition was a rookie who proved he could consistently get the tough yard. He came from Auburn. His name, Joe Cribbs. Cribbs was a working man in a working man's town. He labored in a tight 10-yard world where people sweat and success does not come cheaply. He was durable, determined, and dependable. The AFC Rookie of the Year, Cribbs could deliver short yardage power or a subtle move that left defenders grasping at air. He also caught a Bills record 52 passes, best ever for a Buffalo back. Behind the blocks of linemen like Will Grant and number 69, Conrad Dobler, Cribbs rocketed to a 1,000-yard season and runner-up spot behind Earl Campbell in the AFC rushing race. As Joe Devlin, Ken Jones, and number 67, Reggie McKenzie, provided escort duty, Cribbs ravaged enemy defenses, and Buffalo finished 4 weeks with 4 wins, the best beginning since 1975. The stage was set for a scintillating showdown with another of the NFL's unbeaten, the San Diego Chargers. Joe Ferguson's frantic commands were swallowed up in the roar of 50,000 Charger-powered believers. San Diego's aerial circus had dominated the center ring. Annoyed by the Chargers' early success, the Bills clawed back. A blocked punt, a big pass, a mighty touchdown run. The tide turned in sudden and dramatic fashion. Now there was one perfect team. With 5 victories, Buffalo was alone at the summit of professional football.
Kodak brings the instant to life.
I got one! It's old Specklehead! Oh, I lost him!
I caught him!
The Kodak Colorburst 250 instant camera with built-in flash. Catch the sharp, rich, vivid color of 100 years of Kodak experience.
Well, Billy?
Oh, Specklehead!
The Kodak Colorburst 250.
Kodak brings the instant to life.
Success does not go unchallenged. Reputation does not block and tackle. 2 of Buffalo's next 3 opponents derailed the Bills' playoff express with upset victories. The team that had been the talk of pro football was in trouble. Pressing produced errors, and errors are almost always fatal. Losing can become a flood tide that engulfs everything in its path. For the Bills, refuge came from a raft of veteran players, men like Phil Villapiano, Bill Simpson, and Conrad Dobler, products of winning programs, capable of turning a torrent.
I hope that people like Phil and myself and Isaiah can make them feel like they are all pro or professional type football players instead of just rookies trying to make it or second or third year men trying to make it.
Hey, come on in, D. Come on, let's go, D. Come on, D.
Well, they've had a very stabilizing effect on our football team. They're veteran football players. They've all been on winning teams. They know how to win. They know how to prepare during the week. They know what it takes to get ready for a football game. And they've had that type of influence on our football players.
Joe, get him in, Joe, get him in there.
In the waning moments of a game against the Jets, the Bills, veterans and rookies alike, needed all of their resolve to save a precious victory.
12 seconds to play. The Bills come to the line of scrimmage at the Jets' 31-yard line. Ferguson waiting, dropping back in the pocket, looking to throw. He throws toward the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Unbelievable. Frank Lewis. A touchdown. What a play. Frank Lewis made the reception with 6 seconds left, and the Bills have taken the lead, and they are mobbing Frank Lewis. Oh, what a play.
Buffalo's hopes and ambitions were no longer adrift on uncertain air. Sunday wasn't a day of rest in Buffalo anymore. The 1980 Bills had direction and purpose. When the scoreboard issued the battle cry, the Bills answered. Buffalo did it with defense, the best defense in the National Football League. Number 77, N. Ben Williams, blossomed into a feared pass rusher. He pressured opposing passers to the point of panic and wound up with a personal high of 12 quarterback sacks. At the heart of the Bills' defense was the Bermuda Triangle. Number 55, Jim Haslett. Number 59, Shane Nelson. And number 76, Fred Smerlas. Bear wrestling was better sport than an afternoon of head-to-head combat with the relentless Smerlas. In only his second season, he attracted all-pro attention. A free agent out of Baylor, Nelson hit with hurricane force and left a path of offensive destruction. Number 55, Jim Haslett, stormed every opening, crushed every challenge, and polished his reputation as the top young linebacker in football. The Bermuda Triangle. Those who tested it may never be seen or heard from again. The Buffalo defense left no room for negotiation, except only unconditional surrender. Behind the line was the AFC's best secondary, staffed by stalwarts Mario Clark, Steve Freeman, Charles Romes, Jeff Nixon, and number 45, Bill Simpson. Buffalo was tracking a title. Nothing could disturb the Bills' absolute concentration. The Bills defeated the high society of the AFC, the Super Bowl champion Raiders, the Chargers, the Patriots, even the four-time world champion Steelers. But the doubts persisted. In Week 14, the Los Angeles Rams waited to be convinced. Ex-Ram head coach Chuck Knox looked at this game with a special perspective.
I'm just preparing now like we would for another team, but I suppose on Sunday morning or Sunday when we get on the field, I look out there and see those other guys that I used to go to war with and now I'm going to war against. It might be a little different feeling.
War it was. Ram quarterback Vince Ferragamo was an early casualty. His replacement, Pat Hayden, also operated under siege. In a battle of proud defenses, the Bills got some offense from safety Steve Freeman. The end zone celebration was premature as Los Angeles forged a 7-7 tie at the end of regulation time. Overtime is no time for the faint-hearted. Buffalo had come too far to fold.
And now it's up to Nick Mickemeyer. The crowd murmuring in anticipation. Mickemeyer waiting for the snap is David Humm. Waiting, there's the snap. The kick is long enough, and it is good! The Bills have won it in overtime with a field goal by Nick Mickemeyer. The Bills have beaten the LA Rams by a score of 10-7. What a dramatic finish! Oh, what a dramatic finish! And the Bills are talking proud. It's history, it's history. This stadium is going crazy. Absolute bedlam. The streamers are flying everywhere. This crowd in jubilation. Could you have written more of a Hollywood script to beat the Rams? I don't think so.
Imagine a picture so sharp and so vivid that the finest detail is etched clearly and unforgettably. That's why Kodak makes Kodachrome film, the sharpest color slide film you can buy. As you can see, the sharper you want your memories, the more you need Kodachrome film. From Kodak, America's storyteller.
San Francisco, the finale, and everything on the line for the Buffalo Bills. At Candlestick Park on Week 16, the rain fell, the 49ers fell, and the Buffalo Bills ascended to the throne of the AFC East. On his first carry, Joe Cribbs broke out of the tight 10-yard world and splashed to the Bills' longest run of the season. Operating on a badly sprained ankle, Joe Ferguson was still very much in command. On the playoff tightrope, the footing is often treacherous. San Francisco, struggling to gain its own winning identity, refused to be an easy mark. Finally, one last desperation play. A tenuous 18-13 lead. The season hanging in the balance.
The top-rated defense in the NFL has got to dig in now, or the season could be lost. The Bills need to hold them to win their first division title since '66. 2 seconds to play. There's the long throw toward the end zone, and it is deflected, incomplete. And the game is over, and the Bills have won the division championship. What a dramatic finish in the fog and the rain of San Francisco.
Champions. After 14 years of triumph, the Buffalo Bills had climbed to the mountaintop. They ruled the AFC East, and the feeling was just fine. The playoffs. Chuck Knox arrived in San Diego as the NFL Coach of the Year. Buffalo's determination to continue an amazing march to the Super Bowl was reflected on the face of each and every Bill. Improbable as it seemed, the Bills were but 2 short steps from the NFL championship game. To reach it, the road went through San Diego. Quarterback Joe Ferguson refused to quit despite a painfully sprained ankle. He would not be deprived of this opportunity by injury. In professional football, cold statistics measure the athlete. Ferguson showed the courage that measures a man. Buffalo's will surprised many as the Bills had the favored Chargers on the ropes. With time expiring, Buffalo was on the brink of an apparent miracle victory. In one shocking instant, the dream turned into a nightmare. A glance at the scoreboard confirmed what Reggie McKenzie already knew. The clock had indeed struck 12 for the Cinderella Bills. The setting San Diego sun symbolized the end to the Buffalo season. But like the sun, the Bills will rise again. This is not a dream denied, only a dream delayed.
Buffalo's got a spirit, talking proud, listen up, and you'll hear it talking proud.